Hi, welcome back, my beautiful beans. Today I wanted to share with you my 2023 reading goals. I wanted to keep it simple this year, so I have 6 reading goals that I want to work towards throughout 2023. As usual, my aim is to approach them in a very casual way. I just want to have fun with them, have fun with my reading. It's just something I can tick off and enjoy as I go along. So my first goal of 2023 is to read more of my physical TBR. Now, I don't have a problem with having a lot of unread books. I'm a mood reader, so it's really helpful to have a lot there. And I'm really good at forgetting books out of sight, out of mind. So if I have them here, at least I remember that I want to pick them up and read them. So yeah, I don't have a problem with that. My ideal is a 60-40 split, with 60 being read books. So that's probably an ongoing goal that I'm going to have to try and deal with reading more of these. And so across 2023, unless it's for a book club or a book challenge, I'm going to try and look to my bookshelves more in the first instance and pick up these books that I've been really excited to get to. Goal number 2 is to simply read 60 books. Now, for me, that's a simple goal. For others, it may not be. I used to have a goal of 100 books a year, but last year I lowered it down to 60 because I wanted to slow down with my reading, give myself more space to enjoy the books and not feel like I was rushing through to try and hit a goal. 60 seems good because it worked out as one a week and then a few extras, because I tend to have multiple books on the go at once, and obviously audiobooks at the same time as physical, etc. It didn't really work out. Last year was my biggest reading year so far. It was the first time I've properly tracked my books. I only really started tracking my books in 2020, so I've always tracked my books in Goodreads, but I've been very lax about it. So sometimes they got tracked, sometimes they didn't. But last year I ended the year on 120 something, 126 maybe. So even though I wanted to slow down, I actually did the opposite. But 60 just seems like a good amount. I don't want to challenge myself with the amount of books I read each year. I just want to be able to have my story graph challenge that I can tick off at the end of the year. Yeah. Also, if you want to follow me on Storygraph, I will link myself in the description box below. I would love to see what you're reading and perhaps pick up some recommendations for my mountain of unread books. So my next 2 goals are quite similar in that they're just regular yearly goals. They're ones I'm always striving to get better at. So goal number 3 is to read more diversely. This is something that I will never not set for myself. It's something that you unfortunately have to make an effort with, especially if you mostly look to traditionally published books. You'll find that they don't tend to skew very diverse in their stories or authors, unfortunately. For instance, last year I realised when I looked at my tracking sheets, which is the core pile sheet, which is made by G from Book Roast. Absolutely lovely sheet, absolutely lovely person. I will link her channel below. Go download the tracking sheet if you think it's your thing. But yeah, towards the end of the year, I realised that I was lacking books with disability representation. So I asked on TikTok and Instagram stories for any recommendations. I now have a big long list that I'm going to try and work towards this year. So yeah, it's just something that I am always conscious of and something that I am always striving to do better with. And goal number 4 is again a yearly goal. This one's more of a casual one than a diverse one. This is to read more non-fiction. Now, previously I had a goal of reading a non-fiction a week, week, one non-fiction a month. This year I'm just going to do it casually. It's just at the end of the year I would like to say that I've read 10 to 12 non-fiction books. If you have any non-fiction books, please let me know in the comments below. I tend to pick up sort of non-fiction books about society, feminism, that kind of vibe, but I also just tend to pick up what takes my fancy. Sometimes I have a book in mind, perhaps I've seen a review on it or something, but other times I just go through my library app and see what's available and pick one that sounds interesting. So yeah, this is a very, very casual goal, and I'm just going to say 10 to 12 by the end of the year. Doesn't matter when I read them. So goals 5 and 6 are new to me this year. One should be easy and one's going to be a bit of a challenge. So I have actually given myself a challenge with one of these. So goal number 5 is to read more indie or self-published or small press books. This is something that is becoming, this is something I noticed in 2022 was becoming more of what I was picking up anyway. One of the best things about TikTok is finding these indie authors or small published books. I also have a segment on mine and my friend's bookish podcast, The Lazy Book Lovers, where we talk about upcoming indie releases. So I have a huge back catalogue that I want to get to as well. And I've recently discovered the Swiftbow, the self-published fantasy blog of. So that's another big well of books I want to get to. So yeah, this is an easy goal for me. I don't have any specific numbers. I just at the end of the year want to look back and realise that I've picked up more indie books and hopefully found some new favourite authors or some new favourite books I can share with you. My final goal is the challenge goal for the year. We need at least one challenge, preferably just one, because I want to have fun with my reading. So my final goal is to review every book I read this year. I am terrible at reviewing my books. I'm terrible at doing it on TikTok. I'm terrible at doing it on my blog. I am terrible at doing it in my own personal reading journal. So this year I'm going to do better. I have a goal of reviewing every single book I read. I'm being very flexible in terms of where and when and how I review them, whether it's on my blog, on TikTok, on Instagram. I'm gonna be very chilled with it because I just want to get into the habit of reviewing my books. So that's it. That is my goal. I want to review every single book I read this year in some form. I don't know if I will just allow myself to review them in my reading journal, but yeah, that is a goal. We will see. It's probably going to be a challenge. This is the challenge one. I do brief reviews of some of the books I've been reading on our reading wrap up episodes on the podcast, but I want to be more conscious in it, and tying into goal number 5, I always intend to review every indie book I read because I know how important that is for indie authors. So I need to be better at that. So I don't use Goodreads, I use Storygraph now, but I need to make sure that I'm reviewing indie books on Goodreads and Amazon at the very minimum, just so I'm helping out these authors find their audience. So yeah, that's my 6 reading goals for 2023. I would love to hear what yours are if you have any. So please let me know in the comments, and also share your Storygraph name, I would love to follow you. If you follow me on Storygraph, you'll see that I'm doing a few other Storygraph challenges as well, including a across Asia challenge where I'm trying to read a author from every country in Asia across 2023. That's run by, think I think the name is Books with Lee on TikTok. I will link to them. And they also have a book group on Fable, which I'm going to be taking part of this year. I take part in a few others, so I take part in the Creepy Book Club by Nightmare Maven here on YouTube. I'm hoping to do the Buzzword-a-thon by Kayla from Books and Lala on YouTube, and me and some friends in a Discord group are doing the 12 months of favourites this year as well. So I have a list of 12 books that my friends from Discord picked for my physical TBR that I'm going to be picking up this year. So they're just additional things. If you're interested in all the stuff I'm going to be taking part of, I'm going to share a flip through of my reading journal on my TikTok, so you can go there and see all of the challenges I'm taking part of. But yeah, that's my goals for 2023. If you would like to hear more about what I'm reading or follow me on any of these journeys, please consider liking and subscribing. It will really help my new channel grow. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye friends.